It is Championship Sunday. The biggest prize in Division III men's soccer is up for grabs. The Tufts Jumbos, the top-ranked team in the country, 19-1-3, matching up with the 20-win Trinity Tigers here in Salem, Virginia. We welcome you to the beautiful campus of Roanoke College and Donald J. Kerr Stadium for a matchup of a tilt of titans. Alongside Monica Moore, I'm Drew Casey. Thanks so much for joining us today. Let's go back to Friday. This is how we got to this point. Monica, two really high-level games on Friday.
The first game was defined by the Tufts set pieces, 8 corner kicks, numerous free kicks, numerous long throws, both goals scored off of set pieces for the Jumbos. And in the finale, Trinity took it to overtime, but it only took a little over 2 minutes for Samuel Tice to find the back of the net. It was a thriller to send Trinity through to the final.
4 goals in total on Friday. Here is a look at all of them. First semifinal, St. Olaf got on the board first. A great strike from Ryan Wilson.
And a great assist from Zach Torres. But Tufts would find an equalizer right here. It was a scrum in front of the net, but the goal by Gunn. And then the game winner, it was the captain, Taylor Feinberg, the hero. Ellis Denby served it up beautifully to send Tufts on.
All smiles for the Jumbos. There'd be smiles here in a moment. This is 2 minutes and change into overtime for Trinity.
And Samuel Tice barely had an angle here, but he makes it work. He is the hero. He has scored a large number of goals this year, but this one the most critical to punch the ticket to the final.
Headed to overtime. Sam, we asked him after the game what was going through your mind in those final seconds. You can see right there just pure joy. Lots of work to be done to get here. And the Tigers will play for a national championship against the Tufts Jumbos. And Monica, we are expecting this one to be an affair. Trinity, let's talk about the Tigers here. They have not conceded a single goal in this tournament.
It is the storyline. They are so good defensively. We could not have been more impressed with Daniel Urquidy and the defensive back line for the Tigers. They are so tough. They are composed, and Jaden Shell back in goal locks it down.
Well, no pun intended, or maybe it is intended. The Tufts Jumbos, a tough squad to get by. The Bows have won 19 games on the season. They have a strong defensive unit. They've only conceded 11 goals on the season, but it's all about the set pieces that we saw on Friday.
It really is. We saw how dangerous they are. They're so smart in terms of the way that they win these set piece chances. They're also good at drawing penalties. We did not see that in the semifinals, but they drew a lot of fouls. One of their goals resulted from a free kick. The other one, of course, a corner kick. They also have Ben Brown. He is the long throw specialist. I think he's going to be a big factor this afternoon.
Kyle Dezotel, the leader of the Tufts program that over the course of its history has been here. In fact, they've been to the national semifinals now 5 times. They've won 4 championships. They can make it 5 for 5. This would be the first under Dezotel and the current staff, and the first since 2019 for the NESCAC institution. Trinity, they've been here a bunch too. Paul McGinley is the leader. He's 35th season, 26th playoff appearance, one-time national champs back in 2003. 3rd trip to the national championship game also here in 2007, but came up just a little bit short. Opening whistle, away we go here in Salem, Virginia on a Sunday afternoon. A quick direct ball gets all the way down to the Trinity netminder in cage. That is Jaden Shell. And we should note the conditions here, very different than what we had on Friday. It's 41 degrees, but the sun is shining. There is little to no wind, and the real feel is 51 degrees. An early whistle for a foul.
After having a 20-minute halftime in the semifinals, we've been advised it will only be 15 minutes today. As you said, the conditions so much better. I think both teams very appreciative that the weather has improved. Bit of a change for Tufts. Tufts has Ellis Denby out on the field. We told you he really is such a big part of those set pieces, and I think having him available early on could be a part of the strategy for the Jumbos. Had the assist on the game-winning goal. And we'll see what adjustments Trinity looks to make here to try to contain Tufts from winning those set-piece chances. It can be hard to do because the Tufts team, they're very athletic, they're very physical, and they're very intentional in everything they do on the field.
That one change for Tufts. Denby into the starting lineup. Ethan Jett will come off the bench. We do expect to see him, joined by the other 10 who were out there on Friday. Antic, the keeper, Barganya, Bijan Aktizandidas, Daniel Yanez, Feinberg, Canifin, Brown, Henry Brown that is, Alex Johnson, Ben Penske, and also, of course, Ben Brown for the Tufts Jumbos. Give me Trinity in a moment. Player going down and play on.
It was a nice idea, good ball forward, but even better defense by Luke Mayfield, number 7 in black. We were extremely impressed with Luke Mayfield on Thursday, both defensively and offensively. He is a player that pushes forward, can be very dangerous, and in fact, he was the player that advanced the ball forward for that game-winning goal by Samuel Tice in overtime.
Referee's whistle has blown a few times already. It is Ali Zolgernane, who was our center official in this contest. A great honor to officiate the national championship game. Josh Pitt and Angelo Petrucci are on the sidelines, the ARs, and the fourth official is Noah Matos. And the whistle could play a role in terms of how physical this game can get. Tufts would love a physical game. In fact, in the semifinals, there were 10 total cards handed out, 7 to the Jumbos.
And one thing noticing early on about what Trinity is doing, remember the change that Trinity made in the second half in terms of where they placed Adam Knutson on the field. They wanted him up higher. They wanted him to provide more width to clear out the midfield a bit. It looks like they're doing something similar. It was very successful for the Tigers.
And here is Knutson towards goal. It was deflected by the defense and then floated into the Tufts keeper, Nick Antic, who was able to secure it.
You have to imagine that that was something in the minds of the Trinity coaching staff. That's a great strike by Knutson. Didn't get quite enough on it for the distance, and a good early play by Nick Antic. But we know that Adam Knutson, the first-team All-American, is going to be a big factor in this afternoon's game. He absolutely dictated here on Friday. And it looks like they are going to opt to keep him much higher than what we saw him in the first half of the semifinals.
Nice defensive play by Ben Brown on the shot attempt. Caught the lower part of his leg on the way through to pop it up. Headed out towards the far corner, and this is where it gets dangerous. This is essentially a set piece. It is. Here comes the long throw man, Ben Brown.
Ben Brown, such a great story. The dual athlete in high school, played basketball and soccer, so perhaps did not play soccer at the highest levels of club because he was playing 2 different sports. But he has been such a big impact player as he has fit into this tough system.
Brown throws it right into the 6-yard box, and it's a touchdown pass that's caught. And a little bit extra. Jaden Shell making sure that he asserts himself in cage.
Take another look here. It's a good aggressive play by Shell, but then on the catch, but a little extracurricular activity. And we saw a lot of cards awarded in the game on Friday that Tufts played, and I think these officials will be ready today to shut down anything that looks like it gets out of control on the field.
Shell and Henry Brown, with Shell bumping the chest into Brown on the breakout. Give you a look at the full Trinity starters. One change there as well. Max Salinas went down with an injury in the 8th minute of the national semifinals. And in his stead, starting today, is Hodge MacDonald. Keeper Shell, joined by Knutson, Chandler, Dugan, Lopez, Luke Mayfield, Zach Anderson, Tice, Alex Baltov, and Daniel Urquidy, who was excellent as well in the semi.
And if you remember, Hodge MacDonald had the best offensive chance prior to the Tice goal in the semifinal game. He's very dangerous from an attacking perspective. And I think for Trinity, they are very hungry for an early goal in this one because they know how dangerous Tufts is offensively. And they feel like their defense is so good. If they can score a goal, that will put them in a great spot.
Players go down in the center circle, play allowed to continue. So physical in nature as we play in the 6th minute of this national championship game at Division III. A whistle and a foul. Guilty party is Alex Baltov, the sophomore from Shreveport, Louisiana.
But we are already seeing that physical play between these two teams, and after the tackles occur, there have been a few extracurriculars out on the field, so I know the officials are going to keep an eye on those things. But a chance here for Tufts, so this will not be a chance, obviously, that you can score from, but it is a chance to get organized and to perhaps put something dangerous in the 18.
The first goal in the semifinals to tie it at 1 for Tufts from a similar distance in terms of relation to the goal line, but that was more centrally. It will be Daniel Yanez. Right-footed service, edge of the 18-yard box. And over everybody, at least for now. And it does sail all the way out, and a goal kick coming for Jaden Shell and the Tigers.
But a good early opportunity for Tufts. And again, this is what Trinity has to try to contain in this contest. You do not want to give these set pieces. Tufts can do so many things. And I think what's so special about this Tufts team, you certainly think about Xavier Canfin in terms of the scoring, but they have lots of different players that can score. It wasn't Canfin in the semifinals. As we told you, they got goals from James Gunn and Taylor Feinberg. Feinberg getting his first goal of the season, and James Gunn getting his first goal of the season.
Pretty good time to do that. Both teams very deep. Expect to see at least 4 or 5 changes, if not more. Trinity had 7 players come on off its bench in the semifinal. Tufts had 6.
Well, and Kyle Desautels talked about that a little bit in the post-game press conference, talking about he had a top player who sat on the bench for about 20 minutes in the second half just because of matchups and the way that the lineups worked out. He saw some things that he felt like could be impactful, and he has players.
Look out, ball is in, coming quickly out. Nicely defended by Bargania. Turnaround off the half volley there, and it is unable to be tracked down, so it will be a corner kick.
Antich was trying to get there. He knew that was going to be a corner kick, but could not get to it before it went out of bounds. And so a good chance here for Trinity early on to potentially give Tufts a taste of their own medicine. They're going to send Baltov over to take this. We were so impressed with him stepping up in the contest on Friday.
Trinity had 2 corner kicks on Friday. Bit of a surprise, averaging 8 per game, second most in the nation of more than 400 squads at Division III. Just 2 remaining now. Baltov's corner, floating towards the back post, connects with a noggin. Second ball is loose and cleared off the 6-yard line by Bargania, and the battle ensues. Luke Chandler got on the end of it offensively.
It's a great far post service by Baltov. You see Chandler was there, listed at 6'1" on the roster. Didn't quite get enough pace on this to go over top of the defense towards Antich. But Trinity still with an attacking opportunity.
Knutson trying to grab the byline. Should be another corner. Indeed it is. Having to come out to challenge was Penske.
This is what Knutson does. He is so good and he is so smart. Again, the first team All-American, just a special player. Does all the little things so well, and what an offensive threat. 8 goals and 5 assists on the year.
Alex Baltov will reload here. Does have a man short if he wants to opt that direction, at least for now. In Dugan, who is now going to run off. Baltov delivers, similar ball. Looking again in the same direction of Luke Chandler, but it is whistled down and in favor of the Bows.
Will be a foul against Trinity. But you see the Tigers trying to go for almost the exact same play. Again, high arcing ball to the far post, to the head of Luke Chandler. They also had Urquidy back on the far post as well. 2 good early looks for Trinity, though. We've talked so much about the set pieces for Tufts, but it is something that Trinity very much uses to their advantage as well.
Henry Brown looking to get through, but dispossessed. Zach Anderson now for Knutson. Tigers with some speed. Somehow it sticks on the feet of Adam Knutson still.
He is so good technically, good control over the ball. He had 3 jumbos looking to dispossess him and somehow hung on to it.
Tufts has looked for a couple of calls. The referee has given the stand-up signal a few times. Redirected, nearly goes. What a chance from Samuel Tice. Another sharp angled shot. Antich had to get a touch on it.
For a lot of players, they cannot make something out of these situations, but it's something magical about Samuel Tice, who creates angles for himself where they don't seem to exist. He has been very dynamic in this tournament. 16 goals on the year, led the conference in scoring.
Ooh, look out, that should be whistled for danger, and maybe even more.
And that call's going to go against Tufts. Let's see if we can get another look at this on the replay. You see Canfin not pleased.
And now a player's gone down when we're showing replay here. You know what, second look, Canfin did appear to have the right to the ball. So I would agree with Testament that it's a break for Trinity after seeing a second look.
Let's see what just happened on the field. We were looking at the replay and didn't see, so it was Yanez going forward, getting involved, and Yanez is still talking with the official, who is bringing Yanez and Baltov both over. And now Tice as well, but things definitely started to get heated out on the field. And I do agree with you. I thought that call was going to go against Trinity, or Keaty will get things started off.
Yeah, seeing it live, I thought the dangerous play would go in favor of Trinity. But then, second look, the right to the ball may have been for Tufts. Does not go direct. We resume play. Largely a wash.
You certainly understand the point of view of Xavier Canfin.
And no cards did come out during that sequence. We should note none in this game to this point. In the 13th minute of the national championship game. With Monica Moore, I'm Drew Casey, the rest of our great team here on the campus of Roanoke College.
Henry Brown has been so active up top. You have to keep your eyes on number 20 in white. He is tenacious. He is a forward, but he takes so much pride in pressing and defending. Can win the ball, very physical. Just love to watch him play because the work rate is so high.
Good ball up ahead by Dugan, looking for Knutson, but Ben Brown cuts over. Would not have mattered. Flag is up, offside.
But Ben Brown coming over to take care of business. As we said, he's listed at 6'5" on the roster, so it is quite a luxury to have him on that back line defensively in the air. He has been incredible at the center back position. Also has great feet. When you see players that are that height, sometimes they don't have the technical skill, but Ben Brown does.
He's been a big-time postseason contributor for this Tufts team. A goal early in the year against Babson in a 1-0 win. Since the postseason came around, scored against Middlebury in the conference semis in the NESCAC, an assist against Messiah in the third round of this tournament, and also scored against Bowdoin in the quarterfinals before Thanksgiving, the game that pushed Tufts to this final site of competition here in Salem, Virginia.
But I think these opening minutes are exactly what we expected in this game. We thought that both teams would get good quality chances from the outset, would have some time on the ball to do the things that they do well. It has been a fast game. It has been physical. I liked what we saw Trinity do a little earlier, where they were trying to get the ball to Knutson on the counter. I think you will see more of that. He was offsides on that play, but I think that's a big part of the game plan today, to try to feed the ball up top to Knutson and hope with his technical skill, his ability to take defenders 1v1, that he can create something for himself or for his teammates. Has a knack for coming up with those big goals. 6 game winners on the season for Knutson.
Whistle and a foul here, won by Ellis Denby. Interesting to see the contrasting styles. We've already seen it, of course. You look at a Tufts team that runs multiple systems, multiple formations. They'll do it and shift throughout the game. They are just looking to use that verticality, that size, that aerial to their advantage. Meanwhile, Trinity, a little bit more of the build, breaking lines with passes. Although that maybe not necessarily has been the case in this game for them so far.
So another chance here. This is on the opposite side of the field, but almost exactly where the prior free kick was for Tufts. They did not get anything out of the first chance. A little bit more of a driven ball there.
Gets all the way edge of the 6, the feet of Feinberg, who was the hero in the semifinal for Tufts. Jumbo's looking for an opportunity. Denby, the great distributor. Now Canifin, the All-American, is blocked. Zach Anderson, and cleared away.
That is a big defensive play by Zach Anderson. And that is what Trinity is going to have to do today. There's going to be a lot of chaos created.
Tice through traffic. Good ball from Lopez. And a throw in for the Tigers. A little contact as well, right along the near touch line.
I think we're going to continue to see that contact again after the play from both of these squads, both teams trying to assert themselves. But Samuel Tice has had a good opening shift here for Trinity. He's been very dynamic and active, showing his speed, his quality on the ball. And we know what a clinical finisher he is. When you combine that with his work rate, it is really something to see out on the field.
They are stopping the clock here. It looks like Adam Knutson may have a cut of some kind. He is trotting over to the sideline. At least that would be my guess, unless it is an equipment issue.
Certainly don't expect for him to be out very long.
They'll hold the game for him for a half minute.
Give him a chance to get back out on the field. He is so important to everything that Trinity does. You look at the stats, but he is so much more than the stats that you see on the page. He creates so many chances. He draws penalties. He orchestrates the attack. Paul McGinley telling us that he can't imagine practices and games without him. And obviously, having coached for as long as Coach McGinley has, he's gone through cycles and cycles of players, and he knows this is just the life cycle of a team. But Adam Knutson has been a very special player for this Trinity program.
So Knutson does come off while he's tended to. They had to adjust the sock, and the shoe is off. Putting that back on now. Trinity is playing with 9 at the moment, in terms of field players, of course.
So we'll see how quickly they can potentially get him back out on the field. Tufts, meanwhile, will look to take advantage. They had Canfin making a run. They also had Henry Brown making a run.
Knocked away just in front of the Tufts bench area. Kind of a similar start from the Jumbo's perspective. First 15 minutes, St. Olaf had the advantage through the first 15. Here I think it's pretty neutral, but you look at the shot board, it is 4-1 in favor of Trinity over Tufts to this point as we play here in the 18th.
Good long ball by Ben Brown out of the back. And he puts a good amount of pace and quality on those balls to connect with teammates. Good pressure up top. I love that by Lopez. Trying to force the back line into a mistake. Julian Lopez, who had 2 assists in the quarterfinals, a very dangerous attacking presence up top for Trinity. And now Knutson is back on the field, so the gamble pays off.
It's perhaps easy for McGinley to do it at first, because it was an offensive third throw-in for the Tigers, but then a solid 90 seconds of gameplay did occur with Tufts possessing for much of that time. So 0-0, 19th minute. National championship game for Tufts. It would be national title number 5, 2014, 2016, 2018, and 19. The titles, including one here in Salem in 2016. The 1-0 win over Calvin. For Trinity, one national championship in 2003 against Drew University in New Jersey. Did also appear in the championship game in 2007. And came up short. So the 3rd national championship game appearance for Trinity, 1-1. The 5th national title game appearance for Tufts. They are 4-0.
Just more good play. by Henry Brown. He has been quite a presence up top. Very difficult to contain with the physicality. And they're going to send Ben Brown forward to try to make something happen here.
So we've already had a pair of throws now after this one. A pair of free kicks from midfield, which most teams wouldn't consider a set piece in the advanced metrics. Tufts might.
I think anytime that Tufts can create chaos in the box and get a number of chances off of those long free kicks, they absolutely consider that one of their best scoring options.
Throw in, it catches a field turf bounce and turned and sent away by Lopez.
Lopez did very well there to clear that up top to Knutson.
Tice taken down, he wanted a whistle. It has been consistent so far. Contact has to be substantial to get a whistle.
That's exactly right. And I think it has been consistent on both sides of the ball. The officials letting a little bit go, but as they should.
There is no tomorrow, of course, for either of these teams. Many of the coaches we spoke to earlier in the week said that we've maximized our season just getting here. Of course, we'd love to fully maximize it with wins in the semifinals, and both of these teams, of course, did that. Tufts 2-1. Winners over St. Olaf coming from behind. An overtime 1-0 win for Trinity. Here come the Tigers. Headed out by Brown. Tough frame to get by.
Really good possession here, though, by Trinity. Doing a great job keeping their spacing, getting the ball forward, trying to involve Tice, Knutson, and Baltov, who has pushed forward from the wingback spot. Just a special player on the left side of the field, has a dynamic left foot. It's been a big part of the success for the Tigers in this tournament.
Left-footed send for Dugan near the penalty spot. Bouncing ball, volleyed high. Luke Mayfield able to get onto it, but really tough to keep that one below the crossbar.
Credit to the Tufts defense here. They've done such a good job defending on these crossing balls, balls in the air. We saw this from them on Friday. They are one of the more athletic teams you are going to see, and they are fantastic in the air, so it's hard on balls like that to be able to connect.
Fifth shot for Trinity in the early going from 5 different players. And head coach Paul McGinley remarked when looking at the box score in his post-game press conference that we only had 5 shots. Usually we have 5 shots in the first 15 minutes of the game, and that's much more true today. First 22 minutes. Jumbo's looking for the opening goal. Turnaround was blocked. Chandler. High work rate for Canifin, but unable to emerge through 3 black-shirted Trinity Tigers.
The defense has been the storyline so far in this game. It has been very good. As you said, Luke Chandler just came up with a very big defensive play, not allowing anything to get dangerous, keeping his hands behind his back, making sure he didn't pick up any errant handball calls, just smart, savvy defending. But you can say the same thing for the Tufts back line. They have been under pressure. They have done exceptionally well. They have Taylor Feinberg back, who has dealt with injury this year. Ben Brown, we've talked a lot about. Bijan, Akhtarzan Didas, the All-American. Naturally plays the 6, but who has stepped to the defensive line this year because that is where his team has needed him the most, and he is such a special player for the Jumbos.
Dugan finds Knutson breaking a line in a pocket. Now Urquidi joins the play. He was a one-man corner defensive show in the semis, but also added a couple of offensive chances late, nearly won a penalty. In fact, it was ruled a penalty in live play after video review. It was taken away.
It was a fantastic run forward by Urquidi and a scary moment for Emery and Michael Constedt, who was the player that the foul was whistled against.
First substitution, Jumbos will have Daniel Yanez come off. James Gunn comes on. Pretty good change. Someone who scored in the national semifinals comes on here in the 24th minute. Place the restart in the proper location.
Well, we talked a little bit about the bookend goals for him, scoring in his first game of his career and then scoring in the national semifinals. But of course, he would like to score a goal today to be a true bookend.
First game as a freshman, now in his senior year. One way to do it, a double bookend at the back. Tufts wants to move quickly. Ben Penske, the throw-in. Big weekend for the Penskes soccer-wise. Father Brian is the head coach at Florida State. They will play for a national title tomorrow. Florida State women's soccer, I should clarify.
Really fantastic play there. Stepping forward by Bargania. Over on the left side.
See our first Trinity substitution here. It looks like Jason Suko will come on and will replace Hodge McDonald. And McDonald starting this one for the injured Max Salinas, who went down in the first 10 minutes in the semifinals. Shots now 5-2 officially in favor of Trinity.
I think the Tigers have to be very happy with the way the game has gone so far. They are getting their offensive looks. They've won several corner kicks. They've had some chances in the run of play, and they've limited the set pieces and the long throws for Tufts.
Acceleration step by Baltov. Baltov, left-footed cross, got a piece of the defensive Feinberg, and another corner on the way.
He continues to be so dangerous over on the left side. Again, does a good job getting forward and then tracking back defensively, has good pace. And a fantastic left foot, as we've been talking about, gets those good crossing balls. He's huge on corners, and this is going to be a good chance here for Anderson.
He will get ready to deliver. There is Antich, the keeper for the Jumbos, in the middle of it all, with Taylor Feinberg, the graduate student, coming back for a 5th year. Scored the game winner in the semis here, needing to defend. Gets that way across the goal mouth, danger, and it is put in finally. Urquidy was absolutely robbed at first, but then no denial. Luke Chandler and Trinity lead it 1-0 in the national championship game.
And I really like what Zach Anderson did to begin with here. He did not go with the high arcing balls that we saw from Baltov. He went for a more direct ball, created a bit more chaos from it. So it all starts with that direct ball that pinballs around, the ball sent through in traffic, and the finish is good for the Tigers. You talked about it, Urquidy has been such a big part of everything that Trinity has done, and then the finish by Chandler. Luke Chandler gets his 3rd of the season for the Tigers. And again, for Trinity, they like giving Tufts a taste of their own medicine. We talked a lot about the Jumbos, the set-piece goal scoring, but that was so well done by the Tigers, just keeping that ball in play long enough for a fantastic finish.
The initial Jumbo's touch there, a little bit unclean, and then it caught a deflection off Feinberg, and then the trouble. And looking at it, Urquidy, they might have went to video review. Doesn't matter, though. It's 1-0, saying that one might have crossed. But officially, it will be credited to Luke Chandler.
The only thing that Daniel Urquidy cares about is the scoreline.
Absolutely.
And what a play. Again, just keeping the ball going, making sure that you are creating chances for your team. And speaking of creating chances, that is a nice play by Tice, even better defense by Penske. We talked a lot about him on Friday in terms of his ability to win the big tackles in the midfield, to break things up. Really helped Tufts control the midfield throughout the entirety of the game. Has very good timing when he goes for those tackles. Urquidy trying to get a little fancy there. I really love just the entire skill set for Urquidy. I feel like he's such an underrated player. He was conference honorable mention, has started every game, 2 assists on the season. A lot of times when you don't have those big stats, even as a defensive player, they're looking for you to have a goal, a couple more assists. But I feel like Daniel Urquidy, who's only a sophomore, is such a special talent for Trinity.
Trinity side that had 13 players named to the all-conference team. This is the first year Trinity competing in the SAA, Southern Athletic Association. Alex Ramirez comes into the game, substitution second for the Tigers with the 1-0 lead now, and replacing Zach Anderson.
Well, and it is a good point that Trinity was well represented on the conference selections as Urquidy was beat out by a lot of his teammates. But again, I have loved what we have seen out of him. I feel like he's really coming into his own, has been a big part of the offense, the defense, the composure, the consistency, everything for the Tigers in this NCAA tournament run.
Urquidy officially credited with an assist on the goal. Scored officially in the 27th minute, just a few moments ago. Trinity won. And Tufts nothing in the national championship game. Same story for Tufts in the semifinals. Went down 1-0. It was a little bit earlier. Actually, you know what? It was almost identical. First game, St. Olaf. Goal came in the 29th minute.
Well, and we know for a fact that this Tufts team will not get flustered. That was the big thing that Kyle Desautels has told us every single time we've talked to him. They just have that belief and trust. They believe they will win. They believe they will score. They will equalize. So this is not a team that if they go down in a game early on, they're going to hang their heads. They're just going to get back to work and trust in the process, because that is the one word that has defined everything that Tufts has done all season long. We'll see if Ethan Jett can change some things up with his speed up top. I thought in the first half on Friday, he was such a difference maker with his dynamic pace and his ability to get on the ball and draw the defense and create.
Yellow card shown to Henry Brown for a big-time challenge. Let's take a look.
Take another look here. Just coming in under the player in the air. So creating a dangerous play there. Is going to get whistled for that foul. And not surprising that we're going to start to see some yellows with the physicality of this game. And it's been on both sides. It has not just been one team. Both the two teams are battling very hard. It's been very physical. There have been some extracurriculars. Tempers have run high. But I would expect no less in a national final.
Henry Brown also had a yellow in the semifinal. Fortunately, nobody who picked up yellows in the semi reached the threshold for a suspension for the final game of the season.
These are very experienced soccer players. They understand that once you pick up that first yellow, you cannot pick up the second, because not only does that eliminate you from the competition, but your team is playing a player down, and you cannot do that to your team.
Adam Knutson trying to win this in the corner for Trinity. Defender has fallen down. And then a whistle and a foul eventually against the Tigers. Bijan Aktizandidas hanging on for dear life there.
You see just the strength of Aktizandidas. He is exceptional all over the field. And as we talked about it, Tufts had to replace arguably one of the best center backs in the country. And they asked Bijan Aktizandidas to step into that role, and he has done it masterfully. Kyle Desautels told us that if you quiz the players on his team about who is the most important player on the field, he felt like the winner would be Aktizandidas.
Huge shoes to fill. Graduating Max Clivio a year ago, two-time All-American. James Flagg, Mason Schultz come on for Tufts. Two more changes.
What I love about Aktizandidas, he is that perfect combination between technical skill and athleticism. That is why he is so special. Fourth-team All-American recently announced.
Two changes for Trinity as well. Jeremy Shao, Romeo Carino into the game. Whistle here. Foul against the Tigers.
So Tufts is getting a number of these free kicks on their defensive half of the field. And you see this time they're just going to put the ball into play and possess through Taylor Feinberg.
For a second there, you had to think about it, if what we would see. They've had a couple from just beyond the halfway line. There's Jett, one of his first touches since coming on, and then a push in the back. That's going to be a foul against Ethan Jett.
But I do think that one thing that Trinity has done very well in the first half of this game is the discipline. And you see the speed of Jet. We were just talking about that, but he's going to get whistled there for the push in the back. But what Trinity has done very well is not committing the fouls in Tufts' attacking half of the field. That was something that was such a storyline in the semifinals. Tufts got a lot of chances on free kicks that were quality opportunities. You cannot afford to give the Jumbos those looks. And I think because of the disciplined way that the Tigers have played so far, they have limited that from being an advantage for the Jumbos.
Have to redo the throw-in. Brown inched up a bit too far for the referee's liking. No corner kicks for Tufts yet, and no free kicks in the attacking third. It's just been the long throw twice from about even with the top of the 18-yard box. It has not resulted in a high-quality chance. More substitutions. Trinity will send Thomas Kay on. Played 20 minutes in the semifinal. Does have 3 goals and 5 assists. The 5 assists is tied for the team lead for Trinity entering this weekend.
Well, we've talked about the depth and balance for these two squads. You can bring on these dynamic goal scorers, players who can make such an impact both offensively and defensively. As you said, Thomas Kay is someone who can absolutely contribute on the offensive half of the field and more aggressive play in the midfield. Look at the run forward by Tice.
Tice looking to get by Bijan. The battle is on. 2 great players at the Division III level. Knocked out for a throw-in.
Just the speed that Tice moves with the ball, and you have to credit Actor Zandidas because Tice is a difficult player to contain. You have to be very smart. You don't want to commit that foul. Tarzan Didas is just so solid and steady with everything he does, an anchor on that back line.
Yellow card has come out to the Tufts bench area. I believe an assistant coach. Also a change being made for Trinity. Joey Perryman checks in.
Yellow card on the Tufts bench.
And if anything tells you how deep this Trinity team is, it's that it's taken this long into the first half to see Joey Perryman, who has 6 goals and 3 assists on the season, and who came off the bench to score 2 goals in the quarterfinals for the Tigers.
Think about the serve. Instead, it's slotted for Shao. Gets it towards near the top of the box. The turnaround just wide. Thomas Kay nearly making an immediate impact.
We told you he is dangerous. Just a little wide, but it is a good strike. And look at the technical skill to control the ball on the first touch. Now credit Nick Antich because he had this covered. He's making the diving play, trying to get a fingertip on it if he needs to deflect it wide. But that is a really good strike from Thomas Kay, but it was all about the first touch and the way that he handled the ball so that he could get that shot fired away.
Big reason for the success for Trinity, that depth we talked about. And as Paul McGinley put it earlier in the week, a squad that this year we are a sum of our parts. Romeo Carino, one of those parts coming on. Knutson. Desperation keeps it in play, but nobody else home and cleared out by James Flagg.
It was smart, though, because he barely put any pace on that ball to keep it as far in his attacking third as he possibly could. I like that. To see, it was a prayer, but potentially could have left it for a teammate. He's always thinking.
Luke Chandler is the goal scorer, coming in the 27th minute off a corner after Daniel Urquidy. It was denied by Nick Antich. Exceptional save. No chance on the follow-up. Substitution for Tufts, as it will be Xavier Canifin checking out. And it looks like Daniel Yanez has come back. Or correction, Henry Perkins. Yanez can't come back in this first. Perkins 5 goals, 6 assists for Henry Perkins, all sportsmanship team in the NESCAC.
And to me, one of the greatest storylines on this Tufts team, you look at the numbers, 5 goals, 6 assists. On any other team, you feel like he would be starting. But because of the depth of Tufts, he comes off the bench. His goal scored to minutes played ratio is just off the charts. And Kyle Desotel will be the first to tell you that he has such a heart for this team. And that is going to go
Flag was
Tufts'
up
way.
there.
Yep.
No cross ever came. Shao tried to get to it, but just couldn't. And a reminder, if you're with us on Friday, halftime was an additional 5 minutes. It was 20 minutes due to the cold temperatures. And that's not the case today. 15 minutes. So do not have those extra 5 minutes.
And just to finish the story about Henry Perkins, because this is one of the most amazing things that I've ever heard from any coach and all the ones I've talked to over the years, but he told a story about how Henry Perkins is a guy who will come up to him after the games.
Over the top, Shao uses his head, dangerous, but had to get it any way possible.
And will tell his coach how proud he is of his coach. And Kyle Desotel talking about, as we take a look at this replay, because it is, interestingly, Henry Perkins making this run to force this play, that in the thank you notes that Kyle Desotel hand wrote to his players, he mentioned that to Henry Perkins, because he's never had a player who has come up to him and told the coach how proud he is of the coach.
Long throw, specialist, gets into the 6-yard box, but cleared away. So just to echo your point, talked to a lot of coaches as well over the years. Never once have I heard it either. Very, very cool and unique.
Just a special young man that Henry Perkins is.
Mishit there, it draws clamoring from the Trinity crowd. They've traveled pretty well from San Antonio to Salem, Virginia. Gianluca Falone comes in for Tufts. Finnegan Saunders into the game for Trinity, as well as Aiden Perales. A couple of names, in fact, I think all 3 of those names did not participate in the semifinal for their respective sides. And yes, that's correct. So seeing their first action, all 3 of those players in this national championship game.
But again, we talked about the trust for Tufts, but it's how much trust that both coaching staffs have in every single player on their roster. And I think the other thing that you always have to think about, it's very important to get players minutes in moments like these, because they are so huge for development and progression. It shows the level of trust that your coach has in you, that your teammates have in you. It gives you an opportunity to showcase what you can do. It makes you hungry to get back to this stage year after year.
Mason Schultz down the front foot. Chandler defending for Trinity. Schultz cross, that should be a corner. Yes, corner number 1 coming here for the Jumbos.
Mason Schultz was quite a factor on Friday for the Jumbos. He has fantastic speed. He has a nose for goal. He is probably the fastest guy on the Jumbos roster.
A Let's Go Bows chant breaks out at Kerr Stadium here in Salem. Well traveled from Medford, Mass. and the surrounding area for Tufts as well. This will be Mason Schultz to deliver the corner. Nearly everybody has come forward. Schultz's corner, just missing the noggin of Gunn. Chipped and cleared out. Thomas Kay there.
What Trinity did so well is they cleared it immediately. They did not allow the chaos, the unsettled moments where Tufts takes advantage, and frankly where Trinity took advantage when they scored their goal. What you want to do with your set-piece defense, if you at all can, is clear the ball immediately and not allow anything to get dangerous, and that's what Trinity did on that play.
Perhaps the most critical header of the career of first year, Romeo Carino, who had the first ball contact. The native of Monaco. Over the top, Shell is out, made contact. And the ball bounces out for what will be just an innocent goal kick. But it was not so innocent in how we got there.
The reaction, though, from Jaden Shell, if we can see it on this replay, you're going to see him come out very aggressively. Good challenge by Henry Perkins. But Jaden Shell, you just see the energy, the emotion, and his back line feeds off of that. You see the smiles. I love that because you just see the pure joy that Jaden Shell has playing in this moment. We told you a little bit about him on Friday that has gone through several programs. His first program, unfortunately, had to shut down, and so got the opportunity to come into an ID camp at Trinity, really impressed the coaching staff, has won this starting goalkeeping position, and just the pure joy on his face when he made that play. I mean, I think coaches will tell you that that's a big reason that they coach this game, and the other is really the mentoring and the ability that they have to impact the lives of these student athletes for the amount of time they have them in their programs.
It really is a remarkable career arc for Shell, and it's far from over. Just a junior. Freshman year, Birmingham Southern institution shuttered after that season. Last year at Spring Hill College in Mobile, Alabama, he played just 90 minutes in total the entire season, and now he's playing in the national championship game with a 1-0 lead for Trinity.
But this is the type of free kick that Trinity has been trying to prevent Tufts from having. This is where the Jumbos can be so dangerous, putting all these big bodies and frames in the box. They're so scrappy. They find ways to make something out of everything. Mason Schultz here with a chance.
Right-footed service. Edge of the 6-yard box. Bijan close by. So too was Ben Brown. Players down everywhere. And taken down in the corner. I think that we're going to go to a conversation, at least maybe to video, to see if there is a handball. Yes. Tufts was clamoring for it. And referee Ali Zolgernane will look.
And we will take another look as well. And so I think the question is whether it hit the arm of Luke Chandler. We'll see if we can get one more look from this angle. Difficult to see from that side. But that is what the official is reviewing. Good look there at Jaden Shell, the goalkeeper for the Trinity Tigers. And let's take one more look. Difficult to tell from that angle as well. Certainly the arm is down in a more natural spot, but
it is important to distinguish it was not called a penalty on the field, so you would suspect that our referee Ali Zolgernane will need to see something that is definitive.
You see on your screen, that is the head coach for the Tigers, Paul McGinley, talking. And so we'll see, this is the first angle, and I think this is the best angle to see it from.
Just lose it behind
the player, that's right. And again, this is the officials' view. They're looking at these angles, and see here, and I think on all the angles it is a little difficult just because the ball goes behind the player. So it is hard to tell, but Drew, you made really a very important point, which is that it was not called a handball and a penalty on the field.
We did have one review where a penalty was called on the field in the Trinity Emory contest. Trinity thought they had won one. It was ruled one, but then after review it was taken away. And we were a bit surprised it was taken away after it was called. So anxious moments for everybody. So it will be the determination of our referee, Ali Zolgernane, coming out now. Let's see. No penalty. I think Tufts actually reacted. They thought it was a penalty.
Certainly hearing it from both sides on the field. As you said, there's a really good crowd here today. Tufts had both the women's and men's team in this Final Four weekend, so a lot of people have made the trip and have stuck around, even if they were here from the women's, to see the men play, because there is such a family atmosphere between the two programs.
So it'll be a long throw for Tufts and the Bows. Not a penalty, of course. Catch the head of Feinberg. Secured, flicked backwards. And the third ball headed out very nicely by Perales.
And again, I think that's what Trinity can hang their hats on in this first half. It's the set-piece defense, the decisive clears in the air with their athleticism that have limited the chances for Tufts to be dangerous on these set-piece plays in the box where there's so much going on. It's very difficult as a goalkeeper because you're trying to keep your eyes on everything, and the ball is pinging around.
Tufts surging here towards the locker room. Little hesitation. Ball does go out over the end line. Strong challenge made on the run by Perkins.
This is a great back flick, though, by Tufts. They're so intentional and intelligent with the way that they play the ball forward. But again, I think if there is one thing that Trinity will say that they're most pleased about, other than the score, the goal that they scored, it is the set-piece defense.
Jaden Shell, as you saw him deliver, lost his footing, and he is a little wince. But halftime is near, so we'll see how he looks in the second, or if he is challenged in the final 27 seconds. Trotting back now towards his 6-yard line, and he does appear to be just fine behind the play. Whistle sent away. Tufts wants the ball. 10 seconds. This will be a quick one. Sent ahead by Schultz. Final seconds of the half. It's loose. And that will do it for the opening 45 minutes in the national championship game. 1-0. Trinity in front. And out shooting the #1 team in the country, the Jumbos, 8-2 in the first 45.
And I think for Trinity, another 45 minutes played that they have not conceded a goal. Again, they have not conceded a goal in this tournament. Their set-piece defense has been huge. There is a Tufts Jumbo down on the field.
James Flagg. It's a little bit slow here, and the training staff will come out to take a look as we head to break. Well, both teams, and good to see Flagg back up under his own power. Both teams will head to the locker room for just 15 minutes, so less time to adjust.
However, I think for both teams, they're very confident with what they do, and I don't think you're going to see tremendous changes because they are so confident in their identities. As we told you, the key for Tufts, it's the trust, it's the belief, it's the mentality. You will not find a mentally tougher team than the Tufts Jumbos.
Well, we are at the break. Trinity leads it over Tufts 1-0. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the second half of play here in Salem, Virginia, after a 15-minute halftime here in this championship game. We are back with you as we ready for the start of the second half of play in the 2025 NCAA Division III Men's Soccer National Championship game. The scoreline, Trinity 1 and Tufts 0. Alongside Monica Moore, I'm Drew Casey. Thanks again for joining us. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes of play. Some chances early for the Trinity Tigers.
And Urquidi with the initial take, and then Luke Chandler with the goal. It is off a corner kick for the Tigers. It was a brilliant service that got the whole thing started, and Trinity taking advantage early on. And take a look at Jaden Shell getting involved, and you're going to see the reaction here, all fired up. But a scary moment here if you're a Trinity Tiger, there was a question about whether this was a handball in the box. The official went to VAR review to take a look at it. We saw it from 3 different angles. The ultimate call, no penalty. We played on, and that is how we got to this point. A good look there at Paul McGinley, hoping that his team can hang on. They have done everything they've needed to do thus far. I think they have executed his game plan very well, but they have so much respect for this Tufts team. They know how dangerous they are, and it's all going to be about the set-piece defense in the second half, just like it was in the first.
It was exceptional, and now the scoreless stretch in terms of without conceding a goal for Trinity is up to 589 consecutive minutes. No goals conceded in the NCAA tournament and none conceded in the final 92 minutes of a semifinal conference non-advancing PK situation. The Jumbos, 2 shots in the first half. The Tigers had 8. Corners were 3-1 Trinity. And Chandler the goal from Urquidy off the corner. Plenty of changes from the participation that was out there. At the end of the half, it's largely the starters on both ends. Adam Knutson adjusting the sock, has the whistle, and away we go. 45 minutes, perhaps more, away from a national champion in Division III men's soccer here in 2025.
We'll see what adjustments, if any, Tufts has made. As we told you, they really trust in their system, but...
Well, they've gone quickly to goal, and it's wide. Just wide right. It redirects off the stanchion behind and into the netting from the wrong side.
But a dangerous moment created early on with a direct ball up top to Henry Brown with a powerful strike, just a little off target, but one of the best chances that Tufts has had. And if that is any indication of what we are going to see from the Jumbos in the second half, it is going to be a lot of fun to watch them in their attacking third. Meanwhile, Trinity locking things down a bit more defensively now here. Coaches will tell you all the time that the first 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of the game are some of the most important ones. A lot of goals are scored during those 2 periods of time. That is what Tufts had on their minds. And it was a really good strike by Henry Brown.
Jumbos did have a couple of chances inside of the final 5 on the other side back in the first half as well. Final seconds. Had a ball bouncing around in the box that had to be rushed from a midfield restart. Rushed because of the clock and the time that was remaining.
You can already tell Tufts very much on the attacking foot. I think they're going to do everything they can to get the ball into their attacking third, whether it's with these direct balls. They know they have such a good target in Henry Brown. They have such a good target in Xavier Canfin.
See Ben Brown use that distance throw. Should be able to certainly get this one well into the 18. In the direction of Feinberg. And sent away. This will be a better angle for that long throw now.
But you see they're sending a player over immediately to try to head that away. They're very intentional, our Trinity, on these clearances.
Look out. Shell able to jump over and make the catch on top of Brown. Henry Brown.
But several good chances for Tufts to start off this second half. You're already going to see that pressure up top from Henry Brown and Xavier Canfin. See if they can force anything or disrupt a pass enough so that it does not reach the intended target and perhaps creates a quick counter for the Jumbos.
Again, there's no tomorrow. Both of these teams will certainly leave it all out there. Tufts used 6 different players who did not start in the first half. And Trinity used 8. I have the feeling that number might be a little bit less, especially on the Trinity side. They look to protect this 1-0 lead for the second half. But the style is the style. The team is the team. It's what got both of these institutions here, the depth.
And again, a lot of these players coming in off the bench, they would start at other programs, but they are at elite soccer schools.
Tice hit from behind and a clear foul. And a dangerous, dangerous set-piece opportunity coming up.
Take another look here. Tice doing such a good job getting that ball forward, the give and go. He takes the contact. He's still slow to get back to his feet, but that's some really good sportsmanship by Ellis Denby to come help him up.
And after the foul, Knutson over to the referee, Zolgernane, and asking why it wasn't a yellow card, and a really good case for that to be a yellow. Trinity, though, will take this dangerous set-piece opportunity. The most dangerous of the game for sure on either side.
So Baltov is over, and Lopez.
A wall of currently 5 players. No one down low rolling behind. Knutson is reversed of goal. Number 2 in the black uniform for Trinity. They're going to stop the clock here. So Knutson is going to be moved slightly, maybe a half centimeter. And now will be marked by Penske. Left-footed strike, it's right into the center of the wall, but redirects towards cage. The header, oh, it's high. A golden opportunity for Trinity after an incredible bounce off the wall.
This is so well done. It all starts with Baltov, the left-footed strike. It ricochets off the wall, an opportunity. It will go wide, but one of the best opportunities that Trinity will have today. They know it. You saw Zach Anderson. He was slow to get back off the ground because he wants that opportunity back.
Look out, other side, a chance to level. Cutting in is Brown. Drops it on back. Settled by Gunn. Save. Rebound try coming. Oh, what a defensive play by Luke Mayfield.
And Luke Mayfield, almost identical to what we saw from Jaden Shell. The emotion, the intensity. This is so well done. It all starts with Henry Brown, so attacking minded. Several chances. Another one for Denby. It's taken away. Number 7 versus number 7, but a corner.
I warned you, this wasn't a 20-minute halftime. Only 15 today. Lots of action. Header towards goal. Loose and off the post. And it's sent away. We've hit the post on both sides already in the second half.
Tufts is asking so many questions right now of this back line for Trinity. And the question they're asking themselves is, how have we not found the back of the net with all the quality that we have put together in the second half of this game? Take another look here. It's a great service, a scrum in the box. And I believe that was Urquidy with the final clearance, who just has a knack for getting the ball out of harm's way. And it is
Knutson. It would have been an own goal, I think.
Urquidy with the final clearance.
Wow.
Come on, boys!
And on the other side, we didn't even have time to break it down, but it wasn't Antic who had a touch on it. It was the post there that had the redirect out before the header was sent high by Zach Anderson.
What a start to the second half of this game. It has been filled with action. You see the level of what I would call controlled urgency that Tufts is playing with. They are looking for that quick equalizer. They have been so good. They're not forcing things, but they are really looking to get that ball forward to Henry Brown. They know how dynamic he is. We've seen them do it twice already. They're getting very good results, and look at Henry Brown with the pressure up top.
Tufts already with more shots in this first 7 minutes of the second half than it had in the entire first half. 3 shots in the second, 1 on goal, the first on frame for the Bows in the contest.
And Anderson thought he was going to have Knutson pressing forward, but he did not make that run. Nice work in the midfield by Trinity. Lopez, Tice working so well together, and Baltov pushing up.
Touch for Lopez. Trinity would love to take a 2-goal sit-on lead and make this not quite comfortable, but more comforting at this point. And how about a free kick just outside the top of the box?
How about all the quality that we are seeing from Julian Lopez and Alex Baltov? There's so much quality on the ball, such good technical skill, such strength. Alex Baltov, I continue to love his game. He is so impactful all over the field. He took the last free kick for the Tigers, which was so well placed and which almost ultimately resulted in a goal.
It is going to be Lopez lining up near it. And so too, Alex Baltov. It looks like it will be Lopez. Right foot, redirects off the wall partially, and second ball cleared by the Jumbos all the way out to center. Ethan Jett did not start the game, came on off the bench in the first half, starts the second. And helped start that rush, looking for Xavier Canifin all the way at the top.
But what about Zach Anderson breaking that up? He's another one that perhaps does not get all the credit that he deserves. The captain, the midfielder, he really is the engine of this team. I don't think his stats exactly quantify everything that he means to Trinity. 3 goals and an assist on the year, but he is indispensable in terms of making this team go.
Feinberg was looking for James Gunn, who did score the equalizing goal in the semifinal. That was back in the first half, though, in which Tufts equalized the national semifinals against St. Olaf. The goal for St. Olaf's Ryan Wilson in the 29th minute. Gunn equalized 5 minutes later in the 34th. Mateo Bargania is calling for the ball near side left, and it comes his way. Luke Mayfield intercepting touch.
Mayfield continuing to do such a good job on this right side of the defense for Trinity. A really good partnership that he has with Luke Chandler, who's the back on this right side for the Tigers.
Applause from both fan bases here. Lots of energy here at Kerr Stadium, not just today, but all week long. Women's semifinals on Thursday, men's on Friday. Women's championship game yesterday. WashU, congratulations to the champs in D3 women's soccer, and then wrapping up this day of all things D3 soccer here with this one.
And we should say back-to-back champs for WashU. That is extremely difficult to do. And congratulations to Jim Conlon and his team. They put on a show, and for those who didn't watch the game, it was a lot of youngsters who came up big, goals scored by a sophomore and a first year, and another one that was wiped away by a sophomore. So the future is looking extremely bright for the WashU Bears and Jim Conlon.
Trinity will restart here near the midway line. Lopez taking a page out of Tufts' book, perhaps. Antich is out, ball is loose. Tice the challenge before Nick Antich could secure. And starts quickly with the throw.
Samuel Tice continuing to be so dangerous. Credit the composure of Nick Antich, who is a special goalkeeper, first team all NESCAC, and if you know that conference, that is quite an honor for Nick Antich. He had a stretch this season where he went a full month without allowing a goal. He might not be the flashiest goalkeeper you've ever seen, but wow, does he get the job done.
8th in the nation in goals against average, entering 0.51, 0.51 the goals against. Easy math there, give or take 1 goal allowed every 2 contests.
It's a really good touch by Anderson again. I really like what we're seeing out of Zach Anderson, and I know he's pressing even harder right now to do good things for his team because he wants that goal-scoring chance back.
Denby finds Bargania using the left channel, the wing here for Tufts. Trotted back to Denby! There was a deflection on the save made. Shell got to it, probably goes wide anyway.
Take another look here. This is such a savvy little pass by Bargania. Denby, who has been so good in this tournament, Gets a good strike on it. It's a corner kick, another set piece for Tufts. Again, if you're Trinity, you want to clear this immediately.
Yanez, Schultz, and Ortman all come in for Tufts before this corner. We have not seen Ortman
but perhaps
all
very
weekend.
timely. 6'4" coming in on this set piece.
More size, exactly as it's sent in. Punched out by Shell, and emphatically punched out. Recycle is mishit and high over everything.
Yanez just did not get the touch he wanted on the ball. But what about Jaden Shell coming out, commanding the situation? As we said, Trinity cannot afford for this ball to bounce around and create a scrum in dangerous moments. Jaden Shell takes care of it for the Tigers.
And if Shell didn't get there, it appeared that Luke Mayfield had the positioning both in front of Ben Brown, that huge 6'5" target. And again, Ben Ortman is into the game. Ben and Ben, 33 and 34, 6'5" and 6'4" as the heights.
And that may be part of the thought process, to have him there for the set pieces and making a good run right here for the Tigers.
Fighting through all the contact. Jersey tugs both ways. Ortman will win a corner. Tufts on the front foot here, chasing the game down 1.
You can certainly say Ortman has been an impact player since coming in. Has barely been in a minute, and what an impact for the first year out of Colorado. Has a couple of goals and an assist already.
Another "Let's Go Bows" chant breaks out. 19-1-3 for Tufts. Looking for a national title. Last year bounced on penalties. Corner swinging in, it's a good one, back post. And play is whistled down for a foul. It was Bijan Akzandidas who was on top of Shell, both on the ground. They'll stop the clock here.
Drew, you mentioned the "Let's Go Bows" chants, and they're very loud. The best sign that I have seen here in the stadium, the tagline in the state of Virginia is "Virginia is for lovers," but I have seen a "Virginia is for jumbos" sign in the crowd. I love the creativity. I would expect nothing less from the Tufts faithful, but I thought that was exceptionally well done and a very good nod to the host state for this Final Four.
And specifically the city of Salem, the institution of Roanoke College, just do an amazing job. Over 100 NCAA championships have been handed out here in Titletown, USA, unofficially. We've got a bit of a disturbance over near the bench area. The fourth official steps in to help. And some contact on both sides. We have not seen any cards. Maybe we will.
The official, I think, doing everything he can just to decrease the temperature a little bit on the field, because tempers have been running high between these two squads because of the physicality. But again, this is what you always expect to see. It is a fast, physical game. And Adam Knutson, one of the captains for Trinity, certainly has been in a lot of these conversations with the official, pleading the case for his team. So we're going to see
a couple of cards.
These cards.
2 number 6s. That's jerseys Lopez and Gunn. Let's see.
So we'll take another look here. So you see that's Julian Lopez, who felt like he was fouled there. And there is James Gunn. So, and that's it right there. The contact between the two players, but then the finger starts wagging. So I think it was Gunn initially that made the contact with Lopez. Then Lopez egged him on with the finger wagging. And we have dual yellow cards awarded to Julian Lopez for Trinity and James Gunn for Tufts.
Back to live play. Trinity sending, looking for a 2-0 advantage. Decent ball. Antich, though, able to grab it on first touch and push through it up ahead.
I like that decision by Antich. He wanted to get the ball back and play quickly for the counter.
And all the way up to Denby. Many lines broken with those 2 touches. Denby slots top of the box. It's the All-American catch! benefit. Oh, what a save. Jaden Shell ranging to his right, and he gets an emphatic pat on the back, literally, from his back line.
It is like he has tape on his glove to corral this ball. This is very hard to do. I think one-handed will take another look here, but you're going to see right there, one-handed keeps that hand on the ball again. This is so well done by Jaden Shell. It could very well be the biggest save of this game to date. And we're going to see another jumbo down on the field. It is Bargagna. Hope this is nothing serious. He was holding that left ankle, but that save by Jaden Shell, he has made some very important interventions today, but none bigger than that one. The way that he kept his hand on that ball, a lot of goalkeepers would have lost it with the pace, but it literally felt like there was glue on the glove, the way that he corralled it. And we've told you about his story. You have to love for him that he is playing in this moment, playing at such a high level. He has really gone through a lot of adversity. He has stuck with it for his love of this game. And that is a massive moment in the career of Jaden Shell.
And somebody that Trinity really didn't necessarily know about, as we told you earlier. ID camp, looking for a new home after one school closed, wasn't the best fit at Spring Hill. And boom, there you go, making that save, which this one is a boring last 30, which I don't think it will be. That'll be the one defensive moment that'll probably be at the top of the list.
I just love what we're seeing out of Ben Ortman right now. He's asking so many questions of this back line for Trinity. He's a big, physical, tall presence out on the field. Very difficult to contain. I think he's going to have all the makings of a special player for the Tigers, and he is being very disruptive. We're going to see yet another foul, and I think this is just what we're going to expect to see coming down the line here. So with that one, I'm questioning a little bit the level of contact, but I think the official, after we had the big fight between Gunn and Lopez on the other end, the officials are just trying to keep everything under control.
It's not an easy job. No one will ever say that. Referee Ali Zolgernane doing a nice job here in this championship game. An honor in his career as well, of course.
We've seen a lot of quality from Bargagna. I don't feel like we've mentioned him enough in terms of everything that we're seeing. Perhaps, as Kyle Desautels says, he's the most talented player out on the field in terms of technical quality. Came from Atlanta United. Was on an exceptional team with so many talented players who've gone pro, who've played Division I, and he is just so extremely talented on the field for Tufts.
His way all the way back to Jaden Shell, all-conference honorable mention. Sun perhaps playing a role in some of these aerial balls coming from left to right. You saw a few players shielding their eyes from the sun, which is peeking over screen left as you watch with us. We appreciate you joining us, spending part of your Sunday. Happy holidays to you and yours with Monica Moore, the rest of our team. I'm Drew Casey, and we are at Donald J. Kerr Stadium here in Salem, Virginia, on the campus of Roanoke College. Thomas Kay is back into the game for Trinity here before this throw-in.
He became an immediate impact player when he came in the first half. We'll see if he can do the same for the Tigers here in the second.
I saw the sun playing a role there again. Ben Brown was shielding it with one of his hands as he was waiting for it to come down. Might not be able to high point it as effectively.
It's really been a tale of 2 days in terms of the elements and the impact that potentially they are playing in these games for these athletes that have made it to Final Four weekend.
It's actually quite pleasant outside. You need a jacket or a sweater, but that's about it. You don't need 7 layers. You get away without a winter hat or gloves. Free kick here for Tufts.
This is a fairly good spot for Ellis Denby. As we've told you, he is exceptionally lethal on these set-piece chances. A free kick coming up for the Jumbos.
Denby is ready. Adam Knutson coming in late to add an extra defender. Delivered by Denby, arcing towards the 6. Shell punches, chested down. Bijan towards goal, punched out and cleared off the 6-yard line. Alex Baltov the clearance.
More heroics by Jaden Shell, doing just enough, punching it away, not allowing anything to become too dangerous. It continues to be a big day for Jaden Shell, and a big tackle on the other side. I believe that's Baltov again.
Yep.
How much more can Alex Baltov do? But this is all Jaden Shell. Twice pressed into action, twice punches the ball away. Baltov with the clearance, Baltov with the tackle.
Will Nicholas into the game for Tufts before this throw-in, replacing Ellis Denby, but one would suspect we'll see Denby again very soon. Throw-in this time to Ben Brown on the receiving end. He got his head on it and deftly did direct it towards goal, but from a 10-yard distance.
But another fantastic attacking sequence by the Jumbos. They're just ratcheting it up another notch. We've talked about it, but I think it really is the storyline. It is the belief. While there have been some adjustments that Tufts have made, it really is just their mentality, their will to win, their will to do this for their teammates.
The shots so far in the second half are 7-3 in favor of Tufts after an 8-2 margin for Trinity in the first. So for the entire match as a whole, relatively even now. 11-9 Trinity. Big collision. And the clock will be stopped here.
And this is Julian Lopez, who is down on the ground for Trinity. Very slow to get to his feet.
Looks like it's going to be Bargania to get a yellow card here.
And Julian Lopez is still down on the ground, and it looked like they might have been waving someone on from the training staff, but we'll see another look here. It looks like Lopez potentially trying to fight through this, but there is a little movement over on the Trinity sideline as a player is taking off their penny and warm-up jacket. Looks like Julian Lopez is going to tough it out, and so looked like Alex Ramirez was getting called over by Paul McGinley, but
not want to leave a national championship game if you don't have to.
That is exactly right, but Alex Ramirez ever ready.
Trinity's only made one change since the second half started. It was back in the 64th minute with Thomas Kay coming on for Suko. It was a carryover, played the end of the first, start of the second.
It does look like Ramirez maybe even coming over to the scores table, so we'll see what transpires there, but really glad to see Julian Lopez okay to carry on for the Tigers.
Clean tackle to win back possession for Trinity, and here's Sam Tice, the hero from the other night in the national semifinals to get here.
Quality one-touch pass by Knutson. He's so technically good and savvy with everything he does. That's going to be a little too much on that ball, even for players like Adam Knutson and Samuel Tice.
Even surprised. The send there. The 300-yard drive just kept going. And there will be a change here. It will be the one that we thought we might see when Lopez was down. Julian Lopez off, and on comes Alex Ramirez.
I probably just want to make sure that Julian Lopez is okay. That was nothing serious. He was down for a long time, and want to make sure that there's nothing there that needs additional attention.
Ramirez did play 17 minutes in the first half and was a participant in the semifinal as well. Deep team. Another one of the all-conference honorees on the roster. All SAA honorable mention this season.
Another great play by Luke Chandler. He has been so good in this tournament.
Ramirez is down behind the play after the pass to Tice. Tice chips now for Knutson out wide. The conference offensive player of the year has his pass intercepted. Going to get it back to Tice.
And then quality play from the Tufts back line. They're able to break that up. The combination play between Tice and Knutson, I know they've seen a lot of film on that. They're very prepared for it.
Alex Ramirez back up, and he was on the chase there. The Tigers have weathered the tough storm so far to this point in half number 2 of the national championship game.
It's a nice ball by James Gunn over to Bargagna.
Working on Mayfield, defensive help came from Cade Dugan, who helped win it back, and now Dugan with a touch. Bargagna has to be careful on a yellow card, and he slowed up, but still did make some contact, and it drew the whistle.
He did, but that was smart by Bargagna because he knows he's on the yellow card, and so he needs to be very careful, and he really did try to avoid this. You see him right there. Did not want to pick up the second yellow. It will be possession for Cade Dugan and the Trinity Tigers.
Sent by Luke Chandler. Over the top, and a foul. Fighting for positioning with Feinberg, who wins that one.
We've talked a lot about the way that Tufts has come out in this second half. They've been challenging. They've been asking a lot of questions, pressuring, getting the ball forward into their attacking third. They've had a lot of scoring chances. But I think you also have to credit the Tigers because they have responded very well. You can tell how well coached and disciplined they are. They were ready for it. Their defense has been impeccable. You can understand why they have not yet allowed any goals in this tournament because they are so organized. They don't allow a lot of those second, third, fourth chance opportunities because their clearances are so sound. And that is one reason that the scoreline still looks like what it does right now.
It is now 615 consecutive minutes without conceding a goal for Trinity. A throw in the offensive attacking third. Henry Perkins hung up there by Zach Anderson. Plenty of players going down throughout the early action of the second 45.
Unlucky there for Ramirez. Just could not get there for Trinity, and more substitutes coming in. It's the revolving door right now. Kyle Desautels getting some fresh legs out on the field. He's got Canfin back out. Oh, that was a fantastic shift by Ben Ortman. I'm extremely excited about him and his future. A lot of quality that he brought while he was in the lineup, but it is that moment in the game where you have to go to Henry Brown and Xavier Canfin and hope that they can work some of their magic if you are Kyle Desautels.
Canfin and Henry Brown. Also Ellis Denby comes back in as well, who was highly critical in setting up the 2 goals for Tufts in the semifinals, credited with an assist on the game winner. Over the top, keeper is out. Shell has to use anything but his hands. He uses his head.
So much quality by Jaden Shell, showing you the skill set, all the things that he can do. He felt like he had to make a very aggressive intervention outside the box, and he gets it done, but...
Great run by Bargagna. It'll be a free kick.
And this is what we talked about, that Trinity does not want to do, committing these fouls just right outside the box. That foul going to be charged to Cade Dugan. This is a very good chance for Denby, the set-piece specialist.
Other than the corners, this is probably the best chance on a set piece that Tufts has had in this game. Huge moment. Another Let's Go Bows chant breaks out here. Denby is ready, delivers. Ellis Denby looking for the equalizer. Shell with another big punch with the right hand.
He's really putting on a master class right now in terms of goalkeeping.
Again. Gunn's header sent off by Mayfield.
Oh my gosh, what about that first touch of Tice? He's going to lose the ball, but he did his job. He got the ball away from harm's way. This is Jaden Shell, the goalkeeper for Trinity. He comes up with two big, massive plays back to back. I love the intervention with the header. I love the big punch there. I love the emotion. You can tell how much he wants this for his team, and you absolutely have to love that.
Puck paused briefly after the ball became loose prior to the throw-in. Organa and Gunn working together on this near side channel. Looks like Ethan Jett will come in at the next stoppage, in which Tufts is able to substitute.
You can understand what Kyle Desautels is looking to do here. He's wanting to have fresh legs up top, so he rested Xavier Canfin, he rested Henry Brown, he rested Ethan Jett. He got some very good minutes off the bench from some players who are big presences up top, but now he's going to put in those players that have really carried a lot of the offensive load. And I will say another one I've been very impressed with all weekend long is Mason Schultz. I think Mason Schultz has been such a big part of what Tufts has been doing offensively. He's another one to keep your eyes on because such a dynamic presence for the Jumbos.
Kyle Desautels was shown a yellow card there, did not agree with the call. They had a great view, happened right in front of the bench of the Jumbos, opposite side of us. Free kick awarded to Trinity. Here comes Tice. Able to get by Bijan. Tries to toe that touch line, but it will be a throw-in for Trinity.
A good defensive play by Akhtar Zandidas, and we will see that substitution. Ethan Jett and Mason Schultz often sub in and out for each other.
Has to be Trinity subs as well to allow this to happen at this point. Two of them. Lopez quickly comes back in. Joey Perryman as well. And some rests for Zach Anderson and Sam Tice.
I'm very happy to see that Julian Lopez appears to be okay, and that seemed to be the case when he was able to continue on, and he certainly wasn't asking to come out, but very happy to see him back out on the field for the Tigers.
Foul against Trinity. Tufts starting to sense the clock is not the best friend, racing every time they have a restart. And of course the Tigers do the opposite in hopes of seeing the game out. And if this scoreline holds, a national championship without conceding a goal. 6 games necessary in terms of victories needed to win here in Division III men's soccer. Look out!
It's a really good play by Canfin. I love the pressure.
Jet goes down. Everyone looks to the officials. Play continues. Here comes Trinity.
Knutson's just so much quality on the ball.
Here's Joey Perryman, one of those 2 substitutes. Slotted up ahead. The run made by Thomas Kay. Still loose. Antic came out. The net mouth was open. And it's sent wide by Joey Perryman.
You can tell Perryman wants that one back. He was frustrated with himself with the goalkeeper out of position. This is so well done. Thomas Kay, we told you how good he is, and just didn't quite have the angle and rushed it because he thought his window was closing. Nikontic was out of position. Credit the Tigers. They're continuing to be dangerous. Great first touch there by Julian Lopez.
Anxiety-inducing moments, but it remains 1-0. And very much this national championship game hangs in the balance.
Very intentional possession right now for Trinity. They're by no means running clock, so to speak, but they're being very deliberate in terms of their possession, which works in their favor to shorten this game.
Once it gets to single digits, 6-7 minutes, you might see that focus and trend accelerate more towards that time churning. But all things become easier with a 2-0 advantage.
So again, this intentional possession, just trying to shorten the game, but still get quality looks. Antic is all over it.
No trouble there. Starts it with the throw. We've seen that a few times, especially with Bargagna. Tries the spin turn, but just lost control of it himself.
And you can see here, they've pushed Knutson back just a little bit because they want him on the ball a lot, managing these moments. He's one of their most technically proficient players, and that's saying a lot.
Perryman again with a near opportunity. Joey Perryman blocked. And Ben Brown, a settled pass ahead for Daniel Yanez, who has to go to the tackle.
So much quality by Adam Knutson, who just threads that ball through so perfectly, the right amount of pace through the defense. The first team All-American has been tremendous today, like he has been all season long.
Over the top, there's Shell able to get to it with an on-rushing Henry Brown of Tufts.
You really understand why Paul McGinley says that they will definitely miss Adam Knutson at games, at practices, just the presence, the quality, the composure, the leadership, the mentality.
Nice work by Cade Dugan to help outlet it out wide. Baltov, and now the pass for Thomas Kay. Kay. Back to Baltov. Chip back towards the penalty spot near Perryman, but not enough on it. And Bijan Akhtarzandeh is able to run into it.
Akhtarzandeh just continuing to be so good.
Bargagna with some space. Mateo Bargagna and Tufts, the #1 team in the country, fights through it. Wanted a whistle. Didn't look like much live.
No, I think a little flare by Bargagna at the end, trying to get the call, and he was waiting for reinforcements. He understood that it was an important moment for Tufts. They wanted to have the best offensive chance they could get. It's been a lot of time on the ball as of late for Trinity. I think it was the right idea by Mateo Bargagna, but very good defense from the Tigers. Oh my goodness, Knutson, he is just everywhere right now for the Tigers.
Touched by Mayfield, who's had a strong weekend candidate. This would be many of these starting players for all-tournament team. The All-American towards goal, a bouncer, and Shell just is able to get on top of it from Canifin.
It was good technical skill, though, from a goalkeeping standpoint from Jaden Shell, because he has his body right in front of it. So even though this is perhaps the first time today that he has bobbled a play, his body's right there. So his chest knocks the ball down. No chance of the ball going towards the goal. Just really good skill by Jaden Shell.
Flag up on the far side, offside. That stops things as the clock is under 10 minutes remaining. We're in the 81st minute of the national championship game. Luke Chandler, the only goal off of a Trinity first half corner. Tigers in search of national championship #2. The other was 22 years ago in 2003 in Madison, New Jersey against Drew University. Powerhouse back in the day.
Look at this battle between two All-Americans, Adam Knutson, Bijan Akhtarzandeh. This is men's college soccer at its finest. I love that defensive pressure. Just looking at the expression on Knutson's face, he has left everything that he has out on the field so far, and he's going to give you as much more as his team needs. Just dripping with sweat. The offense, the defense, the intelligence, the savviness.
San Antonio and Medford, Mass watching closely. An opportunity here with a set piece. Alex Ramirez getting set to deliver. The clock has been now paused. Ethan Jett will be repositioned defensively. Ramirez still waiting. Sends in. Headed away by Ben Brown. And Feinberg a touch. I think just about now you might enter the phase from the Trinity perspective where you're thinking about the clock a bit.
It's a great ball. Switching the point of attack over to Bargagna, who has been so critical in this second half.
Great pass for Canifin. His cross through is sent away immediately by Urquidy.
Urquidy again, exactly where he needed to be. Right place, right time, all the time has been Daniel Urquidy in this tournament.
Feinberg from long range. Canifin settles very nicely. Inside the 18, now out of it. For Bargagna. Right-footed cross, Bargagna in swinging! High for Ben Brown. Good look.
And fantastic defense. Once again, this is smart. Fouls are not being committed. Players are just being smart. And in fact, it was actually Brown on the back of the Trinity player, Alex Baltov, who has been incredible on Friday and on Sunday. What a tournament it has been for Alex Baltov.
Gianluca Falone enters the game for Tufts. A couple of changes, 4 of them actually for Trinity here. Zach Anderson, Jason Suko, Hodge MacDonald, and Sam Tice.
But of course, you're bringing in one of your captains, Zach Anderson, the steadying presence. You're bringing in your best goal scorer, Sam Tice. You're bringing in Hodge MacDonald, who is quite a threat offensively. So these are players off the bench that are going to give you so very much.
83rd minute, 1-0 Trinity on a first half goal off a corner. Here is MacDonald, seeing likely more time than he would have by at least a slight amount with the injury to Max Salinas early on in the semifinals.
And credit Hodge MacDonald. He has answered the call. He's only a first year out of England. Has a goal and an assist on the season. The goal was a game winner for the Tigers, but these perhaps some of the most important moments he has had thus far in his collegiate career.
Tufts getting set to make a substitution. The clock will not stop if it is only a Tufts change. It would stop if Trinity is involved in any changes, whether with a Tufts player or solo. And here's where you'll see the... And they'll stop the clock immediately. That's a quick stop from the referee.
You see Trinity just, that's MacDonald trying to manage the ball, manage the time, maintain the possession. It is all about maintaining possession if you are the Tigers.
Sam Tice fighting through a couple of deflections. Centers one. Bijan is down. Offensive player plays from his backside, and the play continues.
Trinity just continuing to create quality chances. This is a great outlet pass to Canfin.
Opportunity to equalize the score. Cuts it back, Bargagna. Bargagna gets it to Canifin. Xavier Canifin across goal mouth. Oh, what a play! Diving across, Alex Baltov with the save of the year for Trinity.
We have said it so many times throughout this contest. Alex Baltov has just been tremendous. I have no more adjectives to describe him, but that potentially is the play of the game for the Trinity Tigers. A goal line save by Alex Baltov. Just when you think he can't do more, he can't bring more quality, a decisive intervention by Baltov, the sophomore. Conference honorable mention honors. Was an all-freshman selectee last year in his conference. Oh my goodness, what a special moment, what a special play for Alex Baltov.
Player's gone down here before the corner was sent in. Hands on head still for Tufts faithful after seeing what just transpired, but a corner kick for the Jumbos.
So we'll take another look here. Just the contact, and wow, Bargagna's going to have to be Or sorry, that was Luke Chandler.
Sent in off the corner, and immediately again, the set piece defense for Trinity, exceptional. Lots of contact, and play stopped for, oh, there's a player down in the 6-yard box.
This is unfortunate for Tufts. And finally back to the feet is Henry Brown, who has been in the mix all game long for Tufts. And the trainer is going to come on the field. Let's take another look to try to see what happened. There was a lot going on in the box. Bodies going everywhere, and a collision with Jaden Shell.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper going for the ball, but Henry Brown got the worst of it, and he's holding the back of his head. And again, hope this is
actually Bijan
exactly, who's down on the ground, and hope this is nothing serious for the All-American.
I wonder if they might take a look at this. I think there is anything to be had as a result.
It did not look like it on the initial replay that we saw, but we'll keep our eyes on the official.
Didas will come off. You see clearly holding the back of his head with that taped right hand.
And again, any potential head injury needs a look from the training staff, needs careful attention. It's been one of the greatest advancements in the game, how seriously everyone is taking the head injuries and making sure that players truly are healthy when they are back out on the field. But you hate to see that for Akhtar Zandidas. I mean, we have mentioned him so much throughout this game. He's so critical defensively. He pushes forward offensively on these set pieces. Very dangerous. He's
already come back onto the field, so we are level here. Antic waiting to catch that one at the top of the box. The goalkeeper for the Tufts Jumbos, who in the last 2 seasons have only lost 1 match. They did not lose all of last year. Ousted on PKs in the national tournament. Canafin shot. It's redirected and cleared away. Who do you think it was? Boltov again, but it will be another corner.
And I think the Trinity fans are wondering how much more their back line can withstand. They have not been scored on throughout the entirety of this tournament, but they are under pressure by the Jumbos.
Corner is in. Again, Shell got a punch to it. High ball chipped, another aerial battle. Another punch. Shell took down a Jumbo, and play continues.
Tufts feeling like there might have been a foul committed there, but we are currently play on.
Still do have the opportunity to go back at a dead ball stoppage, but it is all up to the officiating crew. There's no challenge system from a coach, so to speak.
Really good tackle. Ellis Denby coming forward for the Jumbos, but did not get the delivery on the ball that he was looking for. And you understand what Trinity's doing. Any ball in the offensive third of their field is a good ball right now. They're trying to possess. They're trying to prevent Tufts from having the ball. They know how dangerous the Jumbos are, and they have not been able to exhale for the entirety of this second half. But Jaden Shell and Alex Boltov have been the MVPs of the second half for the Trinity Tigers.
It's a tough collision, but it did appear that hand to ball came first before contact to player of the Tufts attacking front. Does not erase any sting, though.
Look at Anderson. That's the captain.
Jason Suko is offside. Nick Antic will come, the goalkeeper, to restart here. We're in the 88th minute, approaching 2.5 total minutes to play in the national championship game. Trinity is in the driver's seat, but Tufts has pressed hard in the second half with 11 shots, 8 of which have been on goal.
And you just have to keep asking yourself, how much more pressure can Tufts put this Trinity back line under before they score a goal? They have done everything they possibly could in this second half other than score a goal. They have created chance after chance. They've asked so many questions.
Up to Mason Schultz, who can deliver and does so. Top of the box. First head McDonald. Turning Bijan there before an epic highlight to tie the score. But we are now under 2 minutes to go.
Jaden Shell right now just soaking in these moments. He knows that he has played a quality game so far and just looking to close out these final few minutes. And an intentional play right there by Trinity. Again, they're managing the clock. That's Hodge McDonald. Direct ball.
Shell is there, the Trinity goalkeeper, to slow it.
And he's going to push his team up. He's going to take as much time as he can. It's a good ball by Tice.
Final minute, we're into the 90th. Does Tufts have a moment of brilliance to potentially force overtime? Feinberg running and is going to run into a corner. An over touch.
Another moment of heroics by Taylor Feinberg. The goal scorer to send his team to this national final.
Nick Ontich, the goalkeeper for Tufts, joining the fray here. Tufts has everybody forward. 25 seconds, down one, corner is through. It's headed away once. Follow-up try, low, bouncer, all the way around. Scramble. Wind and fire blocked. 10 seconds. What a finish. Bergagna! With 4 seconds remaining, ties the national championship game. Moments that dreams are made of. The Tufts Jumbos have tied the score in the absolute most dramatic fashion here in Salem, Virginia. Wow!
This is so much want to by Tufts. They're keeping the ball in attacking position time and time again. Block after block, big defensive stand. Everyone on the same page, no one letting up. Canfin sends it inside again. You see Ontich jumping in the air, challenging the goalkeeper. Bergagna could not have placed the ball better. The hero, Mateo Bergagna, perfectly placed upper 90 for the senior. The biggest moment in the career of Mateo Bergagna has just come for the Tufts Jumbos.
Pandemonium. 4 seconds on the clock. That was it. That was the last chance. As many shots came, which we're going to have to count here. How many were blocked? 1, 2, 4. The fourth shot in an 8-second sequence. Wow.
The fans in the stands for the Tufts Jumbos just went crazy when that ball hit the back of the net. And every coach will tell you, you're looking around to see if any type of flag is up, anything is happening that could have gotten that waved off. But we are going to go to overtime. What a thriller in Salem, Virginia. Mateo Bergagna with some last-second heroics. I believe you said there were 4 on the clock for number 4 to capitalize for the Jumbos.
Well, sometimes the question comes up going to overtime, who has the momentum? That's an easy answer, everyone. The Tufts Jumbos do. And let's take a break. 5 minutes on the clock. It started ticking. 4.5 until we have the resumption of play in what, for 89 minutes and 56 seconds, or I guess since the goal was scored in the 27th minute, the Trinity Tigers had the advantage. But now it is up for grabs, to say the least. A timeout in Salem. We're back with overtime in hopes of crowning a national champion here in Salem, Virginia. Well, we hope you've had time to settle. You probably haven't, and it may take a while once this one is eventually decided. What a finish to regulation. Tufts and Trinity go to overtime in the national championship game, tied at 1. Here's a look at the goal that got us here with 4 seconds on the clock.
It is a scrum in front of the goal. The ball is bouncing everywhere. An intervention by Jaden Shell. Everyone getting in the mix. Camfin once again sends it inside, punched away. The ball settles to the foot of Barkanya. The left-footed strike, upper 90. The Tufts Jumbos tie it up with 4 seconds left in regulation. Lots of hugs in the stands by the Tufts faithful. You see Barkanya, the biggest goal of his collegiate career, in the immortal words of Jim Valvano: never give up, never ever give up, no matter what it is in life. You see some teams where it's less than 30 seconds left. You see the body language. They feel like the game is over. That was not the body language of the Tufts Jumbos. You have to go back to the post-game press conference on Friday with Kyle Desotel. We asked him what it was. What makes this team so special? It's the trust and the belief. And if those words could have been lived out any better, I don't know that it would be possible. That is exactly what we saw out on the field. The trust, the belief between the Jumbos that they could equalize, that someone, some way, would get it done. It was the 3rd goal of the season for Mateo Barkanya. What a moment for him. What a moment for Kyle Desotel and the Tufts Jumbos.
Well, now you have to reset. There's Paul McGinley, a squad that was looking to see the game out. It's the first goal that Trinity has conceded in this NCAA tournament. Not conceding for the first 634 minutes and 2 seconds. They wanted to get to 6 seconds in total with the 4 more. They did not. And now here we go. It's overtime. It's golden goal, meaning the next goal wins the game. 10 minutes on the clock. We'll do it twice if we need to. And if still level after a total of 110 minutes, we'll go to PKs for a national champion.
Don't forget, we went to 14 rounds in the women's semifinal between the University of Chicago and Washington University, your eventual national champions on the women's side. We knew that the slate was stacked coming into this weekend, that we had 8 extraordinary teams competing. They have not disappointed.
Flicked up by Ben Brown. There, though, is Urquidy. The sides have switched here for overtime period number 1 after the discussion with the referee, coin toss, etc. White uniforms for Tufts. It's the designated home team number 1 in NPI. Trinity in the black base uniforms with the maroon trim, white numbers. At the final site of competition, meaning the national semifinals and the national championship, Tufts has never lost. 5 trips, 4 wins so far, 4 titles. Looking for number 5 with a game winner here potentially. Trinity was in this exact situation on Friday night. Overtime, and it took less than 3 minutes for a goal from Sam Tice on this end of the field. Cross through, Shell gets there confidently and secures it away from the on-rushing Henry Brown.
I like that decision, though, by Camfin to send that ball inside. You have a teammate who's making the run. Hopefully you can create something of it. Tufts just needs to continue doing exactly what we saw out of them in the second half. They created so many chances, and when you get that many, eventually you will find the back of the net. They put this Trinity backline under so much pressure, and the key, the critical thing, they never lost their belief that they were going to equalize in this game.
The shots in the second half were 16-7 in favor of Tufts, 9-3 on goal. And again, there were 4 total shots inside of the final 10 seconds. The first 3 were blocked, and the 4th was finished.
Both teams trying to grab the momentum early on. Again, it is golden goal. That has been a change So it really matters who gets the momentum.
Canafin is in, but no play was stopped. Whistle sounded, but no one can hear anything in this building at the moment.
All the fans locked in. They have been treated today for a men's college soccer match at the highest level. It has been such quality play, such athleticism, discipline, emotion, physicality. This game has had a little bit of everything, and the thing that it perhaps has had the most of is the drama.
Trinity thought a foul was warranted there. The play did continue, and now a whistle does blow, and it will be a free kick for Tufts. It's Bargania on hero status so far. That status will be much higher if Tufts wins. It will still be a moment that everyone who is here today will likely remember, frankly, forever.
It will go down as one of the greatest moments in Division III men's college soccer tournament history.
Ellis Denby has a free kick here for Tufts. Denby sends, it stretches inside the box by a yard or two and headed wide. And can be controlled by Trinity goalkeeper Jaden Schell. There are signs here in the spectator area that read, "Be loud, be proud, and be positive." I think all of those things have occurred here over the course of the last 15 to 20 minutes of real time, and will likely continue until we have a winner. Tice drops it down now for Knutson. Adam Knutson is in the box and weaves through, and it's a corner.
Really well done by Knutson. We've seen him do it all day long. He's so good with the dribble, keeping the ball at his foot, not being deterred by the defense, continuing to do so much for Trinity.
A corner kick for the Tigers, the first in overtime. Sent in, driven, edge of the 6. Mayfield was closest to it for the Tigers. And now it's Tufts with a head of steam. It's Mason Schultz, has Canafin cutting centrally. Xavier Canafin is through. Canafin scores! The national championship belongs to the Tufts Jumbos. What a comeback!
It feels almost fitting that Xavier Canafin would score that goal. And credit Mason Schultz, the quality of the pass. We're going to get a review to see if it is offsides. So the celebration is ongoing, but there is a little bit of a lifeline here for the Trinity Tigers, because this will be reviewed to see if it was offsides. It certainly looked like he was on in the run of play, but we will take another look here on the left of your screen in the white jersey. That is Xavier Canafin. He receives the ball here and very much appears to be on sides for the national championship. Give Mason Schultz so much credit. This is difficult to do, to deliver the ball so perfectly in a moment that means so much, not just to you individually, but to your team, to your coaching staff, to your family, to all the fans, to all the players that have come before you. So this is a huge call from the official, which will decide the national championship. You saw all the Tufts players who were already in celebration mode. They certainly felt from their perspective that it was onside. It looks to us like it is, but we will see what the final determination from the official is.
Anxious moments. You know, funny enough, a couple weeks ago, Tufts field hockey, same situation. Scored the game winner, went to review, and then he had a second phase of celebration. And everyone does not necessarily know what to do on the Jumbo side. From our look, we think it's good, and Tufts should have this. 4 seconds away from not reaching this moment. Here we go. Our referee is ready with the call. It is a goal, and that is it. The Tufts Jumbos have officially won the 2025 Division III Men's Soccer Championship. For the 5th time in program history, and for the first time since 2019, the Bows are on top of the men's soccer world, and this one was heroic. 4 seconds left in regulation time to tie the score, Mateo Bargagna, and then it was the All-American Xavier Canifin. A couple of heroes for the Bows.
And I think what's special about the game-winning goal for Tufts, we talk so much about the set pieces. That's in the run of play on a counterattack. A couple of moments of brilliance. Mason Schultz, we highlighted him earlier, the fastest guy on the team. That's the one that you want with the ball on the counter, and he threads it perfectly to the 4th-team All-American Xavier Canifin, who is such an elite player. What Tufts did today, I think few teams could do, because it required a degree of mental toughness that a lot of people would not have in the moment. It is so impressive to be able to keep your composure and to battle with all the tenacity that Tufts did up until the final whistle of regulation. As big as the Canifin goal was, the Bargagna goal, I think, will go down in history as one of the most spectacular plays in Division III Men's Soccer National Championship Final history.
Xavier Canifin, moments ago, here's the build-up. Schultz, great feed, transition, and Xavier Canifin's not going to miss this very much.
And there's very little that Jaden Shell can do. You can go out and try to pressure and see if Canifin goes around you, or you can stay home and try to provide a big presence where you can hopefully deflect the ball. But it is the Tufts Jumbos who are your 2025 national champions. Lots of smiles. Akhtar Zandidas, a big smile. Glad to see him back out on the field, that he could complete this game with his team. There are your All-Americans for the Jumbos on the screen.
Well, seeing the look there after the celebration, I was really impressed. Canifin, by the time he found his teammates, 3 of his teammates had already lost their jersey tops too. And the Jumbos celebrate in pure joy.
And the hug with the head coach, Kyle Desotel, and Xavier Canifin. It is a huge moment for the Jumbos, who a lot of people may have thought the game was over with less than 30 seconds to go. Tufts had brought so much quality in the second half, and they just hadn't capitalized. And I think you have to give so much credit to the Trinity Tigers. The defensive performance we saw in this game, remember the goal line save from Alex Baltov. This game could have been equalized a lot earlier if it was not for the Trinity defense, for Alex Baltov, for Jaden Shell, for the entire Trinity defense. They pushed Tufts to the absolute limit. I think when Tufts got the equalizer, that belief, which was already so huge for the Jumbos, absolutely exploded, and they felt like in that moment they could absolutely do anything.
You talk about the Tigers, that is it's a tough way to end a season. It's an excruciating loss. There's not really any other way to put it. 4 seconds away from a national title, but what a remarkable year. 22-1 is the final record, an overtime win in the national semifinals. First time back on this stage all the way to the championship game since 2007. And a team where the future is certainly bright as Tufts slaps its name on the final line of the bracket.
And this is the moment you dream about. If you play college soccer, you want to be the last team standing here in December, putting your name on that final spot in the bracket. Kyle Desotel, so much credit to him and his staff for what they've done with this team. They're very quick to give credit to the team and the way that they have sacrificed, the way that they love each other and believe in each other. But that has to start somewhere, and it starts at the top with your coaching staff, and it flows down to the players. This is a special moment for Kyle Desotel. This is a special moment for the Jumbos. But I think that the Trinity Tigers, deserve the highest of congratulations for the season they put together. It certainly hurts now and it stings quite a bit, but they have no reason to hang their heads. The way that they played today, so much heart, the way they played throughout the tournament, it really took till the final seconds of the national title game for them to get scored on in this tournament. They are a special team and certainly should be very proud of what they've put together this season.
The family has joined Coach Desautels on the field. A moment that everyone will certainly remember here in Salem, Virginia. I think Kyle's just maybe taking his first exhale of the last, I don't know, couple hours.
I think I'm taking my first exhale
yeah.
After the last couple of hours. There was so much action. There was so much drama. Again, to me, this is college soccer at its finest. Two teams that left everything out on the field. I don't think any of these players have anything more to give right now. I think it is exhaustion, it is emotion, it is a roller coaster. But I think, again, when they go back and watch this game, so much to be proud of for both teams. What a great statement for men's college soccer to have a national final like this one.
Such an exquisite week here in Salem, Virginia, with both Division III women's and men's soccer championships the last 4 days. And Monica, on the men's side, the privilege to work together. I always like to say I hope we get a game like that again in the future, but that's going to be very, very difficult to top.
That is going to be extremely tough to top. I thought when I had 14 rounds of penalty kicks on Thursday that would be one of the most memorable games that I had ever called. Little did I know what was in store today, courtesy of the Tigers and the Jumbos.
So the Tufts Jumbos, heroics. Let's take one final look at it before we move to the awards presentation portion of today. This is the scramble at the end of the game.
Everyone flying everywhere, tackles being made, the Jumbos rallying, the resurgence, renewed life. The ball finds the left foot of Mateo Bargagna, upper 90. The most critical goal scored of his collegiate career comes in his senior season. The hero sends the game to overtime. Mason Schultz perfectly threads it through Xavier Canfin for the national championship. The Tufts Jumbos will hoist the trophy. What a play by the standout, the 8th goal of the season, and I'm sure he will tell you it is the most important one of his career.
You know, it reminds me especially the game-winning goal, the iconic Tiger Woods shot at the Masters. And the call from Vern Lundquist that day was, in your life, have you ever seen anything like that? And Mateo Bargagna, and many who were here, everyone who was here, especially if you were sporting Tufts gear, supporting Tufts, but really on the other side too. Nothing to hang the heads on, as we've talked about with Trinity. And what a performance on the highest stage. And
I completely agree with that. I think if you live, eat, sleep, breathe soccer, like so many of us do, you have to appreciate the sheer quality of the goal in that moment, with the pressure, the expectations, especially from a senior who realizes that the career is coming to a very fast close. I think it is something that you have to marvel at, the true excellence in one moment. Coaches always say this, games come down to moments, and that is the sheerest definition. That moment managed so well by Mateo Bargagna.
What a moment. Coming up in just a few short moments is the awards ceremony, the presentation formally of the national championship and national runner-up awards and all tournament teams, etc. That'll do it for Monica and I for now. We really thank you so very much for watching NCAA Division III championships, and this men's soccer one here in 2025, just a dandy. Tufts victorious 2-1. Once again, that does it for Monica Moore. I'm Drew Casey, the rest of our fantastic team. But do stay with us, because coming up, and looks like about 60 seconds, it will be the full announcement of postseason awards. Congratulations to the Tufts Jumbos, the 2025 NCAA Division III men's soccer national champions. And thanks again for being with us.
acknowledge the City of Salem and the Old Dominion Athletic Conference for their partnership, commitment, and success in hosting this national championship. And now we present the 2025 NCAA Division III Men's Soccer All-Tournament Team. If your name is called, please come forward and stay in the center for an all-tournament team photo once the whole team has been announced. At defense from St. Olaf, junior, number 3, Ryan Bechtel. At forward from St. Olaf, sophomore, number 18, Ryan Wilson. At midfield from Emory, junior, number 6, Logan Steeran. At forward from Emory, graduate, number 40, Ignacio Cubetu. From Trinity, junior, number 1, Jaden Shell. At midfield from Trinity, sophomore, number 6, Julian Lopez. At midfield from Trinity, junior, number 14, Samuel Tice. At defense from Tufts, senior, number 4, Mateo Bargana. At midfield from Tufts, senior, number 6, James Gunn. At defense from Tufts, graduate number 16, Taylor Feinberg. And the 2025 Most Outstanding Defensive Player is, from Tufts, junior, number 5, Vijan Actors-Antidas. And the 2025 Most Outstanding Offensive Player is, from Tufts, junior, number 18, Xavier Canfin. Fans, let's hear it for your 2025 All-Tournament Team. Now let's recognize each of our two teams that made it to this point here today. Presenting the awards is NCAA Division III Men's Soccer Committee Chair, Deki Moldovinich, and other members of the committee. We'll start with the runner-up team in this year's NCAA Division III Men's Soccer Championship, finishing with a record of 22-1, the Trinity Tigers. Will the following individuals please come forward to receive your awards or be recognized? Number 1, Jaden Shell. Number 2, Adam Kudutson. Number 4, Luke Chandler. Number 5, Kate Dugan. Number 6, Julian Lopez. Number 7, Luke Mayfield. Number 8, Zach Anderson. Number 9, Aiden Perales. Number 10, Joey Perryman. Number 11, Jason Suko. Number 12, Hodge McDonald. Number 13, Thomas Kay. Number 14, Samuel Tice. Number 16, Jeremy Shaw. Number 19, Riley Haas. Number 20, Alex Boltov. Number 22, Alex Ramirez. Number 25, Ethan Quautry. Number 29, Clayton Holmes. Number 30, Romeo Carino. Number 31, Matt Lim. Number 33, Finnegan Saunders. Number 34, Daniel Urquidy. Number 44, Brandon Gongora. Number 0, Louis Yunta. Number 17, Carlo Barber. Number 18, Max Salinas. Number 21, Salvador O'Brien. Number 24, Kason Dilworth. Number 28, Will Robinson. Number 35, Filippo Gambacorta. Number 36, Noah Crane. Number 38, Eduardo Pera. Number 99, Austin Quitta. Assistant Coach, Joseph Turini. Assistant Coach, Peter Blank. Head Coach, Paul McKinley. And now, will Head Coach Paul McGinley and the Tigers please come forward to accept their team trophy. Congratulations to Trinity University on a fantastic season. Fans, let's give all of these outstanding student athletes, coaches, and staff a round of applause. And now, the 2025 NCAA Division III Men's Soccer National Champions, finishing with a record of 21-3, the Tufts Jumbos. Will the following individuals please come forward to receive your awards or be recognized? Number 0, Sammy K.O. Number 1, Nick Ontich. Number 3, James Flagg. Number 4, Mateo Bargagna. Number 5, Bijan Akhtarzan Didas. Number 6, James Gunn. Number 7, Ellis Denby. Number 8, Daniel Yanez. Number 9, Henry Perkins. Number 10, Luke Randolph. Number 11, Mason Schultz. Number 12, Thomas Yanez. Number 13, Zach Garber. Number 14, Ryan Risby. Number 16, Taylor Feinberg. Number 17, Will Nicholas. Number 18, Xavier Canfin. Number 20, Henry Brown. Number 21, Alex Johnson. Number 22, Ben Pinsky. Number 23, Ethan Jett. Number 27, Gianluca Falone. Number 33, Ben Brown. Number 34, Ben Ortman. Number 2, William Cornog. Number 15, Griffin Bone. Number 19, Hayden Jones. Number 24, Hastings Brislin. Number 25, Addison Bergen. Number 26, Andreas Rosas. Number 28, Davis Novak. Number 36, David Murata. Number 38, Zach Ubamadu. Assistant coach, Adam Batista. Assistant coach, Kristen Woodzuvak. Assistant coach, Luca Napara. Assistant coach, Zach Abduglass. Assistant coach, Eric Nordenson. Assistant coach, Rick Cox. And head coach, Kyle Desutel. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the Tufts Jumbos, your 2025 NCAA Division III Men's Soccer National Champions! Safe trip home.